Hi friends, so today we are going to learn how to read bar graphs. And you have probably seen bar graphs before, but we are going to kind of review bar graphs. So today when we look at a bar graph, remember, same as picture graphs, we have to read the title. And the title of this bar graph is called Favorite Place to Go. And we have 4 different places here. We have the aquarium, the zoo, the beach, and the museum. So these are the number of children that voted for their favorite place to go at the bottom. Now, just like picture graphs, when we read a bar graph, we're going to total it up and then we're going to write the number on the end just so we can see the number of the children that like the certain certain places. Now, bar graphs can look like this from side to side, but they can also look like this. They can also be up and down like this. It's the same thing if they're up and down or side to side. It means the same thing. So let's go ahead and count. So the aquarium. Let's count how many children, their favorite place is the aquarium. So I'm going to go all the way across to this line. And then I'm going to come down. I see that 4 children like the aquarium. That's their favorite place to go. Now I'm going to go ahead and look at the zoo. I'm going to go all the way across the zoo. I'm going to look at this line right here, and I see that this line is 8. 8 children's favorite place to go is the zoo. Now I'm going to look at the beach. I'm going to go all the way across to the beach, and I see that 6 children's favorite place to go is the beach. And then last but not least, I'm going to look at the museum now. I'm going to go all the way across the museum, and I can see that 3 children's favorite place to go is the museum. So I totaled it up on the end so it would be a lot easier for me when I go to answer my questions. So let's look at question number 1. It says, how many children chose the beach? Well, I can go to beach, I can go all the way across, and I can see that how many children? Fill it in now. How many children chose the beach? Okay, if you said 6 children, you are correct. Now, number 5, which place did the fewest children choose? And that word fewest, that's one of my key words, fewest. So the least. So where's the smallest number? Which place did the fewest children choose? So go ahead now and I want you to look at the aquarium, the zoo, the beach, and the museum. And which number is the smallest? Well, if you look at your bar graph, you can see that museums only had 3 children that chose museum as their favorite place to go. That is the smallest number on my bar graph. So the fewest is museum. So I want you to go ahead and write museum. Now, moving on to question 6, it says, how many more children chose the zoo than the aquarium? So remember those keywords, how many more? What operation do you think I am doing if I just boxed in the words how many more? Well, if you remember our chart that we looked at a while ago that we had hanging in the classroom, how many more? We're subtracting. So how many more children chose the zoo than the aquarium? So those are the 2 numbers I'm going to look at. So I'm going to go across to the zoo, and I see that the zoo had 8 children that chose the zoo. And then I'm going to look at the aquarium. How many children chose the aquarium? 4. So I'm going to subtract 8 minus 4, and my answer is 4. 4 more students chose the zoo than the aquarium. Okay, now let's look at question number 7. How many children chose a place that was not the zoo? So how many children chose a place that was not the zoo? So what operation do you think we are doing now? Well, we have to use addition. So let's add up. So we're not going to add up zoo, we're going to add up the rest. We're going to add up 4, the aquarium, plus the beach. 6 students chose the beach, plus 3 students chose the museum. So if I add 6 plus 4, I know that that is equal to 10. Then I have 10 plus 3, which is equal to 13. So 13 children chose places that were not the zoo. Now, let's look at this one. It says, find the number of children who chose the aquarium and the beach. Then find the number of children who chose the zoo and the museum. Describe how these 2 numbers are different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of break my lines in half. And over here, I'm going to look at the aquarium. And that's my little and sign. And the beach. And then on this side, I'm going to look at the zoo and the museum. Okay, now For the aquarium and the beach, let's look at those two numbers. So we have 4 and we have 6. So if we add, first up, we have to add 4 plus 6, and that equals 10. So 10 students chose the aquarium and the beach. Now I'm going to look over here. Now we need to find the children who chose the zoo and the museum. So I'm going to add up the zoo, which is 8 plus 3. And we know that 8 plus 3 equals 11. So now, how are these numbers different? Well, I can look at the numbers and I can say, okay, so 10 children chose the aquarium and the beach, and 11 children chose the zoo and the museum. And I notice that one more child chose the zoo and the museum than the aquarium and the beach. So I'm going to write that down. One more child chose the zoo and museum than the aquarium and the beach. But they were very similar. Just one more child chose the zoo and the museum. Now, I want you to keep in mind that when we have bar graphs, they're not always going to count by ones. They could count by 2s, they could count by 5s, they could count by 3s, they could count by 10. So keep that in mind when you are reading a bar graph. So today for your independent work, you are going to go ahead and complete the favorite sport page, very similar to what we just did, and you're going to answer questions 1 through 7. Alrighty, my friends, have a great day.